Okay, this is Delora Dabbles, and some of you guys wanted to check out my entire library, so here is my entire library of books in storage. I will go through each of these boxes, but you can just kind of see how I have labeled them. I'm not going to get too much into my fiction boxes down there because it's all just fictional works, but definitely these over here we'll be getting into. So in the Norse box, we of course have Night Side of the Runes, Alu, Operative Runology. I was really into Stephen Flowers / Edred Thorson. They're the same person. This one is an out of print one that I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, this is a translation by Guido von Leest, who a lot of his work was adopted by the Nazis. He even worked with the Nazis. Again, like, these are things that you need to educate yourself on. All right, we've got Jackson Crawford stuff. Love Jackson Crawford. Sagas of the Icelanders. We've got more of the Eddas. An old copy of Rune Might. And the Everyman translation of the Edda. I like to have multiple translations of things, just so y'all know. All right, we're gonna put those back and we're gonna get into the next box. All right, guys, so this is the Animism, Hermeticism, and Herbalism box. I run the gambit on this box. We have the Sefer Yetzirah, of course. This is a book on pathworking the Kabbalah. I haven't done that yet, but I think it's cool. Franz Barden. I just have the one book. And here we get into some more of the other stuff. I have The Mystical Kabbalah by Dion Fortune. This is actually my mom's copy that she never read. Guys, it's kind of cold out here, and the wind is blowing. Plant Spirit Familiar by Christopher Pinchak, another really good one. Complete book. We all have had this in our library at some point, I bet. Green Lovers. 777. The Middle Pillar. Both of those I found secondhand. Damien Echoes. Yes. This is so disappointing. This is a pseudoscience book that postulates that the Denisovans built Göbekli Tepe and a lot of ancient stone things. We have no idea what they look like, yet this person is talking about how the Denisovans built Göbekli Tepe. It's kind of sad. Then we have Animal Speak. That's the bottom. Then we have some little books here. The Encyclopedia of Ancient and Forbidden Knowledge. Magical Aromatherapy. I was a little bit disappointed in the Magical Aromatherapy book, but that's okay. All right, we're going to put these back and open the next box. Okay, we are inside the unit because it's a little bit less windy in here, but there's no room to really stand and film this in here, so when I can, I will dip in here to warm up. Anyway, the Illustrated Dream Dictionary. This is one of my favorite ones. My mom actually has a copy of this one, which is why this one is in storage, because my mom literally has this on her bookshelf. Secret Language of Dreams. This is a kind of like vanity print book, but it's written by, he used to be an editor of some magazine. Anyway, I thought it would be really cool to give it a read at some point. Unfortunately, haven't had the time. And this box is India and Miscellaneous Occult. I kind of had to consolidate those two categories. So now we're getting into the India stuff here. Some more of the Miscellaneous Occult. We have the Necronomicon, this infamous book, Necronomicon spell book, you know, for funsies. All right, here we go. Profound Buddhism. Reiki, False Beliefs Exposed for All. This is a great one. The Foundations of Reiki Ryoho. This book was alright. If you guys know of any Reiki books that are actually written by someone of Japanese ancestry or studied in Japan, like, that'd be really cool. Please link those down below, because those are hard to find. The Mysteries and Secrets of Magic. Thompson, Causeway Books. This is very interesting, older book. Talking to the Spirits. And then I have my complete book of Ayurveda down there. Eventually, I would like to learn more about Ayurvedic medicine. But anyway. All right, here we go. The other side. So I have them upside down because I want them to be binding to binding down here. So I'll flip them as we go. You have to have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, guys. You have to. Love Songs of Chandidas. This one I got at a secondhand store and I couldn't resist it. Liber Null and Psychonaut. Chaos Magic. Another Dream Dictionary. The 3 Magical Books of Solomon. Nature Spirits. And this one, Jyotish, is about Vedic astrology, which I would really, really love to get more into. And that concludes this box, and we will move on to the next now. Alright, I'm going to cheat on this one. This is my tarot box, my tarot books box. As you can see, most of my tarot books are at home, right? But you can see which ones I have because there's only a few of them. Ha ha ha. Cheating. Alright, this is another box that I can kind of cheat a little bit and not pull every book out. Also, these are my really big honkin' books. We have Mysteries of Celtic Britain by Lewis Spence. I think I like Lewis Spence. I don't know, but I think I like him outright. We have Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig. The Quarea book I've been telling you guys about. Liber Spirituum. This one is really cool. This guy never consecrated his book of spirits, and so but he did a lot of artistic stuff anyway. It's kind of cool. Yep, Magical Healing, Josephine McCarthy. It's a much bigger book than the other ones. We have Solitary Witch, Llewellyn's Complete Book of Divination, the Encyclopedia of Spells, and here on the top I have actually had this book pop up for me on Amazon with a completely updated cover, and I think it's really cool that they're reprinting this because Pamela Ball is kind of cool and a lot of people haven't really heard of her. She's definitely, this is an older, more Wicca based type thing. Then there's one book on the side here, Stellar Magic. That's actually a really, really cool book. I'm not to the point where I can do Stellar Magic though. So yeah, moving on to the next box. Alright, so this is Egypt, Mesopotamia, and First Nations. So some of these books are more anthropological and some of them are more magical. So the Mysteries of Isis. This is one of the books that my mom gave me. And that's definitely a more magical book. I have the Codex Borgia. Oh, this one is just, let me just show you guys. It's just everything that was in the Codex Borgia. But the way that the Codex Borgia and all of your Aztec and some Mayan books, they were done, they were bound like accordion style. They were not bound like this. They were bound like an accordion and folded. Voices of the Winds. This is a really, really good one. It goes from the east to the west. So, like, it kind of like spans across the country. All of the different northern Native American legends. If you've ever been into a half-price books in Texas, these are everywhere, and I just had to get one. The Wind is My Mother. urban shaman. This is a great one. This guy was adopted into kind of like a Hawaiian practice, and they taught him a lot, and they were like, hey, you should write this book so that you can bridge the gap there. So he did. This is a really cool book. I haven't been able to find anything else on it, but it's half written in English and half written in Spanish, and it's about the calendar. Epic of Gilgamesh, because you got to have a copy of that. This one is a really cool one that my mom recently gave me. Yes. This actually came from a museum. She had another book about a museum, and this one was in Mexico. I actually gave that to this guy I was dating who had Aztec heritage. Louis Spence. Some good old Budge. And then I think this is, nope, that's not the last book. Wow, there's so many books down here. Oh, wow. All right. So that's the last book down here. Ancient Egyptian Magic. And this is one of my mom's books. This is also one of my mom's books. This is a book that my mother gave me as well. The Light of Egypt. This guy had taken the sun wheel as his kind of like personal like identification, right? And then this was originally written way before the Nazis. So unfortunately, because it had a swastika on it, I was like, Mom, I don't want that. And then I was like, oh wait, this is from forever ago. And so this is the 1960 reprint. So it's linen bound. But if you find this leather bound, it is an original reprint. I'm not sure that they've done any reprints since the 1960s. So, all right, here we go. We are going to plop these back over to this side and start going over the other side. The Light of Egypt seems like a really interesting read, and I would love to have time to read it. But it's basically just this guy's opinion on ancient Egypt, and I'd kind of like to know the facts of ancient Egypt before I read some old guy's opinion on it. Trail of Feathers by Tahir Shah. This is about the Inca and Peruvian shamans. Coyote Medicine. I picked this book up and I wanted to read it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And I just want to make it clear, like, I want to read this for curiosity and academic purposes, not to start performing Native American rituals, because that's not okay. American Indian Myths and Legends. Oh, I had to have this one for college. Cahokia, City of the Sun. Most people have never heard of Cahokia. It is a giant city at the mouth of the Mississippi River, where it begins. The Way to Rainy Mountain by Scott Momaday. This was also something I had to read in my Native American literature class in college. This is kind of a cool one. If you like C.W. Ledbetter, then you're going to really like this, because it seems like it's information pulled from different articles and interviews with him. So really good nuggets of info there. Great Grandfather Spirit. I saw this in half price and wanted to give it a read. More Louis Spence. More Louis Spence. And then the bottom there is Dragon Bones by Jan Fries. Alright, so I'm going to pause this and we will move on down to the other boxes. Okay, this book has Bibles and anthropology books, as well as a few puzzles in them. So we're going to move these puzzles out of the way. We have Emanuel Velikovsky's Peoples of the Sea, a reconstruction of ancient history, a continuation of the Ages in Chaos series. My mom swears by this book. I haven't read it yet, though. history's timeline. Really, this one, honestly, like, okay, I absolutely love this book. It is one of my favorite resources anytime I'm talking like ancient civilization. It's good to have an idea of where all the puzzle pieces fit in the greater puzzle. Catching Fire, How Cooking Made Us Human. I had to read this in my human evolutions class, and oh my god, guys. Humans were not the first species of bipedal apes to start cooking. Our stomachs and the way that our digestive system works is evidence in itself that bipedal apes were cooking long before they had the brain capacity to do other complex, super complex things, right? Really cool old Bibles. I have a, this is a, what is it, that cult? Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a Jehovah Witness Bible. And this is a Jewish Torah, and it's in Hebrew. And then I've got a big old honkin' heirloom Bible that's inside this box that we're not going to pull out. Right, moving on to the other books, and here, Wisdom of the Mystic Masters by Parker, and one of my all-time favorites, A History of Witchcraft, Sorcerers, Heretics, and Pagans. And then, boom, the heirloom Bible. Told you guys, that heirloom Bible is a big ol' honkin' Bible. Okay. Wait, no, these go on that side. Then my puzzles go here. Alright, on to the final box. Okay, this final box has a lot of my big books in it. As you can see, this big history book is a big book. It basically takes you from the Big Bang to the present. Love it. Merlot and the Etruscans. Oh, Merlot is an archaeologist, and this kind of just talks about his findings and stuff and such. This is Quest for the Past. Amazing answers to the riddles of history. So this is another book that was my mom's, and it's published by Reader's Digest. The Viking World, another big coffee table archaeology book that has some really cool pictures in it. Now we're getting into more occult stuff. So we have the Runic Workbook. We have this big coffee table Kabbalah book, and this one is more Jewish Kabbalah, not just because of the K instead of the Q. Everything in it is more the Jewish tradition of Kabbalah. Astral Projection Workbook, which is still honestly the best book on astral projection I've ever read, still to this day. The Crystal Workbook. Playing Card Workbook. I love these workbooks, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. The Palmistry Workbook. These are like my real life, what you call it? Like things that you collect. They're my Fallout bobbleheads, basically. Like, I will spend my whole life collecting these. The Encyclopedia of the Occult by Lewis Spence. And last but most certainly not least, Secrets of the Magical Grimoires. This one is a really cool, it's much more academically written. And I very much appreciate it for that. I managed to find that copy in half-price books and got an amazing deal on it. Okay, I'm obviously going to have to make a separate video for all the books inside my house. So stay tuned for my second video that has all of my books that are inside my house. Until next time, happy reading, happy dabbling, and bye-bye.